Fired up footballers, welcome back to another episode of Running on Fumes. Jeffrey and James here with you as always. And today, folks, wait. What is that? Sounds like we have some breaking news. What is that breaking news, James?
Apparently, we have correspondent James on the scene, and with a news update on injuries. One of the things that's been bandied about on Twitter was people wondering what's going on with the injuries, what's going on with Polster, what's going on with Soloniak.
So it's not an update, it's more of like a review?
Because there really hasn't been an update provided so far. Most of the information is what we have on the situation is compiled from when the injuries were initially announced. So in the case of Matt Polster, he was announced with a 5 to 6 week injury, a grade 2 MCL sprain. That was announced on March 19th. That should put him back in Fire uniform by April 30th. That would make 6 full weeks. Mm-hmm. That's next week, right around the corner. So hopefully we hear about him getting into practice this week or in the next, and hopefully we get to see him get some game time during May. Probably do want to nurse him back slowly. Mm-hmm. He's got some injury trouble.
Yeah.
Injury history too. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's the same knee, but I think it is.
Yeah, we definitely need him back. I mean, out of all the guys that are injured, I mean, we need everyone, but without a doubt, I think Matt is the most key to the Chicago Fire's success. I think he was a huge part to us last year. Tons of assists, really helps us on both sides of the ball. I mean, you have Ellis, who's more of a defender, Connor, who, is more of like an offensive defender, and so Matt kind of is both. He can do good defense and good offense, so we need him back.
We do. That'll be critical.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think he's our most important cog that's out at the moment.
Yep.
The other three guys certainly important, but even when they do come back, there's not actually a starting spot waiting for any of these guys. We'll move on to the next one. Lucho Soloniak with a 6 to 8 week injury with a quadricep strain. That was announced on March 31st. That would his estimated time of arrival returning would be May 26th. That's about 8 full weeks. So probably the soonest we could see him is right there at the end of May, probably more so likely at the beginning of June time when he's going to be working his way back from injury. But even still, is he going to force Collier off the field at that point? What's going to happen? There's Campos on the field.
Lucho's a weird one because he scored 7 goals last year, but I mean, even if he comes back, we talked about this off the air. I mean, we still don't think he'll have that big of an impact just because he's not a true winger. Mm-hmm. So, and we need wingers. He's
not a true winger, and he's not the greatest striker, too. As far as when he does get his conversion rate, when he does get his chances, he doesn't hit all of them. Even the sitters. That's the problem there. Michael DeLiuve and Georgi Mihailovic both out with ACLs, different legs. I believe MDL, Michael DeLiuve, blew out his left knee, and Georgi Mihailovic blew out his right knee. Their ACL, they both went for ACL reconstruction surgery right around November 2nd to November 9th, right and around the same time frame. I believe Georgi went down in our playoff game. Mm-hmm. And so that puts
it was the last game of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we saw that right in front
of us.
Right
in front of us. Yeah.
Oh man, poor guy. That put him out for about 6 to 8 months. So the earliest that they were expected to join the team was in July and August. However, they have been practicing, probably at not nearly the same level, and we haven't heard about any setbacks. So apparently things are going smoothly with their recovery.
Let me ask you this, James. Do you think Georgi coming back can impact the team? Have a huge impact? Obviously, he'll help, but how big will that impact be, or is it we still don't know?
That's a really good question because I really don't see Georgi, MDL, or Soloniak having any significant impact to the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Now, these would be significant subs, significant reserves, significant practice partners to get into the squad.
Pieces you want, but how big of a jump are they going to help, the current Chicago Fire performance?
Now, arguably, Michael DeLiuve, probably the most talented of the last three, Soloniak, Michael DeLiuve, Georgi. Mm-hmm. But is he the most talented? I think he has a lot of heart. He's a striker, secondary striker, playing out of position over on that right wing role. Now, I got another question for you. Who do you choose as your right winger between him and Lucho?
I think I would go Lucho, just, again, solely based on the fact that he scored goals last year.
His skill set seems a little bit better suited for the wing, but they both have that nose to get to the goal and to do certain things that a normal winger maybe wouldn't do as far as crowding space for Nico.
What else we got? What else is on the...
So that covers our injury update. Real quick, we'll get into our loan update. John Baccaro earned a spot on the USL Team of the Week with a goal and assist for the Tulsa Roughnecks. The goal just happened to be in the dying embers of the match. That makes it the last kick of the game.
Cool.
Got a tie, earned a point there for Tulsa, and lo and behold, but who was in net? none other than Stefan Cleveland.
Yep.
Stephen, I always have trouble with picking his first name. I think it's Stefan.
I do too.
Stefan or Stephen. Anyway,
Stefan
Stefan Cleveland.
Chicago Fire guys getting in.
4 saves for him, but he did get lit up to 2 goals, but they did get the point. So that was nice to see. Baccaro.
Minutes are good.
Minutes are good, especially when they're coming from our affiliate that really has no. They don't have any.
They don't have to play.
They don't have to play these.
They don't have to play them, but they chose to.
But they chose to. One last other before I move on to this, another bit of news. Dax McCarty was in the reserves for the MLS Team of the Week, while Sanchez, our goalie, Richard Sanchez, was in the starters for the MLS Team of the Week with a stellar performance and goal. It's been a series of stellar performances.
Wait, do you mean Dax McCarty or Dax McCarthy? James?
I saw Dax McCarthy make it, but
the MLS. Yeah, we're having fun. We're having trouble with
even Dax.
With Cleveland's name. The MLS have trouble with spelling Dax's last name. So
he sent out another tweet. He's like, "I've only been in the league 12, 13 years.
Yeah,
and they're still getting his name wrong. So one last bit of news is on the transfer front. Zlatko Junuzovic. We've seen his name pop up on Twitter. He's apparently ending his contract with Werder Bremen. He's not going to continue. He has not announced where he's going to be going in the future. Speculation was Chicago Fire, Orlando, and a couple places in Europe. The guy's a 30-year-old center attacking mid. He's Swiss, but he's actually of Yugoslavian descent. So maybe he's got some links with Pano.
Yeah.
It would be fantastic to bring this guy because he could play a little winger and he's very creative in the middle. Fantastic creator for Werder Bremen. I would love to see them. It would be a shame for the Fire to miss on this guy.
Yes, we need him. He can help us build. He can create, get Nico some opportunities. Something we need.
Offer something that we don't have. Other critical things to know about the situation is that Orlando was rumored yesterday to apparently have him in the bag. However, that was pure speculation. That's only really been backed up by a tweet. So we don't know if that's true.
Transfer rumor, sounds like.
Our understanding of Orlando's payroll situation is that they probably have most of their payroll probably already tied up at this point, so it'd be really hard to just make payroll appear out of nowhere. But there are mechanisms for TAM to be able to, if your owner wants to pay some extra money, he can basically purchase extra.
Sounds like if they wanted to figure out, they could figure it out.
But that's the question. If they already dipped into that, that would preclude them from being able to dip into that. Because they did make some big moves at the beginning of this season, bring in Sasha Kljestan, losing Kyle Larin, losing Kaka, and bringing in a couple other pieces. So the question is, do they have the funds?
Do they have enough resources?
Does Orlando have enough resources to potentially steal Junuzovic from Chicago Fire signing?
I hope not.
I hope not. But there is one other big factor that's going to come into play here, and that's going to be the international spots. Because if Zlatko Junuzovic does come over, he would require a international spot. And right now, because MDL is on the injury list, long-term injury, we're able to use his spot. Campos, I think, has it. So we would have to acquire another spot. Those are quickly disappearing. There actually are only, supposedly, according to a Redditor, 6 international spots left for the entire left of MLS for this entire season. So barring a couple guys on various other clubs getting their green cards, or barring a couple guys on the Chicago Fire getting their green cards, opening up a couple international spots, those international spots are going to be very expensive to acquire. Supposedly the going rate for one of those is $175K, $175,000 in TAM or GAM. So that's going to be
potential issue. We'll see. If they can figure it out, it could work itself out, but. We'll see. So more importantly, they need to bring a guy like that in here. They do. But it also begs questions for why they would bring in a guy like Chani, who requires that international spot. And they drafted 2 internationals already as well, right?
Yeah, and so that really is making it harder to bring in an outside huge talent like a Zlatko Junuzovic, because now not only do you have to pay up for his salary, you have to pay up to another team to be able to clear up a spot to potentially get him over here.
And that international spot is only a temporary solution as well.
Yeah, so really brings into focus this plan of Nelson Rodriguez, the supposed plan. Because if there is a plan, it's being cobbled together. But that about covers it up here for us today, and that's all we wanted to cover. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the conversation, enjoyed the information, toss us a like. If you want to add any corrections or any comments, toss them down below. And as always, subscribe for more Spitting Fire. All right, guys, we'll see you later.